Have you ever wondered why some people change the world while others just pass through it? Why Da Vinci, Tesla, and Einstein could see what no one else could? Did they have something we don't? The truth is, they didn't, and science proves it. One of the biggest studies on genius was done by psychologist Louis Terman in 1921. He followed 1,500 children with IQs above 140, genius level. The expectation that they'd become the world's greatest minds, but the results were surprising. Most of them lived average lives. Some became teachers, doctors, lawyers, but none won a Nobel Prize. So that raises a big question. Is genius really about having a high IQ? Or is it something else, maybe a different way of thinking? Daniel Goleman, author of Emotional Intelligence, argues that success depends more on discipline, curiosity, and creativity than on IQ. Maybe a genius isn't someone who knows more, but someone who thinks differently. Einstein didn't speak until he was 3 years old. People thought he was slow. Tesla would walk miles alone just thinking. Da Vinci was an artist in a world of scientists and still changed science forever. These minds had something in common. Not a secret formula, but a unique way of seeing the world. And today, you'll learn how to use those same mental tools in your own life to think like a genius, even if you never thought you were one. Leonardo da Vinci wasn't just a painter. He was an engineer, an anatomist, an inventor, and a musician. His mind jumped between fields as if there were no boundaries between them, and that may have been his real secret. Walter Isaacson, who wrote the most well-known biography of Da Vinci, said, "His genius came from the ability to combine art and science, poetry and engineering. He didn't put knowledge into boxes." In his notebooks, Da Vinci wrote about everything, from how water flows to how people smile. He dissected cadavers to understand anatomy, then used that knowledge to paint more realistic faces. Science and art became one. This way of thinking is what we now call cross-disciplinary thinking. It's when you combine different fields to create something entirely new. Da Vinci sketched helicopters centuries before engines were even invented, just by connecting unrelated ideas. Steve Jobs once said, "Creativity is just connecting things," and he cited Da Vinci as one of his biggest inspirations. That ability to link distant concepts is like a superpower. And yes, you can train it. Start applying it to your own life. If you work in tech, study design. If you're a musician, read about psychology. Big ideas are born where paths cross. And the more diverse your knowledge, the more your brain starts to change. Da Vinci did this instinctively. But today, with the tools and access we have, anyone can think this way. And the next genius we'll explore didn't sketch his visions. He built them with his mind. While Da Vinci drew the invisible on paper, Tesla built the invisible in his mind. He didn't need tools or a lab. All he needed was to close his eyes. His imagination did the rest. Tesla claimed he could visualize his inventions in such detail that he didn't need to test them physically. He saw machines working, heard their sounds, felt their movement. Everything happened inside his head before it existed in the real world. Biographer Mark Cypher called this mental engineering. Tesla didn't just daydream, he designed as if his imagination was a 3D simulator. And most of the time, when he finally built it, it worked exactly as he had seen. Neuroscience backs this up. A Harvard Gazette study showed that the brain activates nearly the same areas when imagining an action as when actually doing it. Deep visualization is almost as powerful as doing, and athletes know this. A Journal of Sports Sciences article revealed that athletes who mentally visualize their routines perform better. The brain learns even when the body is still. Want to think like Tesla? Start simple. Before bed, imagine your next day in detail. What you'll do, how you'll react, where you'll be. Picture it vividly. Repeat that. Strengthen that mental muscle. Tesla mastered imagination like few others. But it wasn't magic. It was training, and you can develop it too. Still, sometimes creating something new isn't about imagining. It's about asking the one question no one else dares to ask. And no one did that better than Einstein. While Da Vinci connected ideas and Tesla visualized the impossible, Einstein did something else. He questioned. But not just anything. He questioned what everyone else assumed was true. It all started when he was a child. Einstein once asked himself, "What if I could ride alongside a beam of light?" That simple question led to the theory of relativity, all because he dared to doubt the obvious. He once said, "I have no special talents. I'm only passionately curious." That relentless curiosity drove him to places no one had gone before. He wasn't satisfied with easy answers. This kind of thinking is called first principles thinking. Instead of accepting what's given, you break ideas down to their basic truths. Then you rebuild from the ground up, like seeing everything for the first time. Elon Musk uses this approach today, but it started with minds like Einstein's, and science confirms it works. A psychological science study found that curiosity increases learning and improves memory. Want to train this mindset? Try the 5 whys technique. Take a common statement and ask why 5 times in a row. It forces your brain out of autopilot and into deeper thinking. Einstein didn't settle for surface-level understanding. He wanted to know the essence of things. And when you start thinking like that, you begin to see the world not as it is, but as it could be. But what if you could combine all 3 genius styles? Is there a practical way to bring them together into one mindset? Actually, yes. And that's exactly what we'll explore next. Da Vinci connected ideas. Tesla imagined with depth. Einstein questioned deeply. 3 different thinking styles. But together, they form a kind of mental blueprint for genius-level thinking. These great minds show that genius isn't a straight line. It's a dance between curiosity, imagination, and the courage to challenge assumptions. And the best part? You can train all 3. Here's a simple way to remember it. CIV, curiosity, imagination, variety. This is the triangle that supports genius thinking. It's not a magic trick, it's a mindset you can build. Curiosity is the engine. Ask more questions, go deeper. Imagination is your tool. Visualize ideas, run simulations in your mind, experiment mentally. And variety is the fuel. Study different fields, mix topics, cross boundaries. Want a practical challenge? Pick a topic in your field, then, for 1 week, study something totally unrelated. Then try to combine the 2 into a new idea or solution. That fusion sparks innovation. This type of practice lights up your brain in new ways. It creates rare neural connections. It breaks you out of repetition and leads you into originality. Thinking like a genius isn't about knowing more. It's about thinking differently. Now, before we wrap this up, I want to give you something more personal. A moment of reflection, because how you think from this point on could change everything. You don't need to be a genius on paper to think like one in real life. The greatest minds in history didn't follow formulas. They created their own. And now you have the tools to do the same. Curiosity, imagination, and variety. 3 elements you can start using today. And believe me, if you apply them consistently, your mind will change. Your ideas will evolve. And over time, so will your life. So tell me, of the 3 techniques, which one speaks to you most? Which will you start using this week? Drop it in the comments. I read everyone, and I respond to the best. And if this video made sense to you, hit that like button. It helps the channel grow, and it means a lot. And don't forget to subscribe, because there's much more to come. If you like this video, check out the Polymath Method, how to master any skill. That one dives even deeper into learning with purpose, blending fields, breaking limits, and growing with intention. It's like a sequel to this one. And remember, genius isn't a destination. It's a way of moving through the world. Change the way you think, and you'll change what you create, what you experience, what you leave behind. Thinking like a genius isn't a gift, it's a choice, and that choice begins now.